Russia resumes reduced gas flows to Germany, and company profits are largely beating expectations. You're watching the Daily Brief with Forbes. I'm Ramia Faraj. Russia has resumed gas flows to Germany through the Nord Stream 1 pipeline. It was expected to resume operations on time today, but at less than its full capacity. It's still not clear exactly how much gas will flow. The pipeline was halted for 10 days of annual maintenance on July 11th. Gazprom cut gas exports through the route to 40% capacity last month, citing pipeline servicing delays. Companies are reporting their Q2 profits, and they're largely exceeding expectations so far. Let's start with SAP, which saw second quarter revenue growth of 13%, beating estimates on a boost from its cloud business. The German business software group's total quarterly revenue rose to $7.69 billion. Its cloud revenue climbed 34% to $3.12 billion in Q2. SAP did, however, trim its 2022 profit outlook for the year due to the war in Ukraine to between $7.77 billion and $8.08 billion from a previously forecast maximum of $8.43 billion. Nokia's Q2 operating profit came ahead of market expectations, boosted by strong demand for 5G gear from phone companies. The Finnish telco equipment maker's operating profit rose to $729.7 million from $697.14 million last year. That beat the $650.65 million mean forecast of 11 analysts polled by Refinitiv. Hyundai Motor saw a 59% rise in Q2 profit as a weak won lifted the value of its earnings abroad, and demand remains strong for its high-margin SUVs. Net profit at the South Korean automaker climbed to $2.13 billion for Q2, up from $1.38 billion a year earlier. That beat Refinitiv forecast of $1.68 billion. In other news, Tesla has sold about 75% of its Bitcoin holdings. Tesla sold $936 million worth of Bitcoin in Q2 alone, more than a year after it bought $1.5 billion of the crypto at its peak. Elon Musk cited concerns about Tesla's overall liquidity as the reason for the sale, saying the car maker needed to maximize its cash position. Musk says he's open to increasing Bitcoin holdings in future. GM and Ford have asked U.S. auto safety regulators to grant exemptions to deploy a limited number of self-driving vehicles without human controls like steering wheels and brake pads. Both car makers want to deploy up to 2,500 vehicles a year, the maximum allowed under the law, for ride-sharing and delivery services. Neither seek approval to sell self-driving vehicles to consumers. Ford says it intends to deploy a self-driving ride-hailing and package delivery vehicle early in this decade. And finally to China, where its cybersecurity regulator has fined ride-hailing giant Didi Global $1.19 billion following an over-year-long investigation into the collection and use of its customers' data. It boosts investors' hopes that China's tech crackdown is winding down. Didi, once known as China's answer to Uber, has been one of the highest-profile targets of the widespread clampdown on the sector, which saw years of runaway growth and supersized monopolies before regulators stepped in. I'm Ramia Faraj. This is the Daily Brief. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.